there, wrestling fans? Hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hope you had lots of fun with your families. But we're back. Is the end of the Thanksgiving break. And again, this is Thankful for Wrestling Month. And I figured I'd bring back someone that she was in the business back in the day when my grandfather, around the time my grandfather wrestled, and the fun times of this. Oh gosh, let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome back to my friend and yours, Miss Brittany Brown. Welcome back, Brittany.
Hello there. Thank you.
Welcome. So, Brittany, what have you been up to since the last time we were in the Dudes at Ringside studios?
Trying my hardest to stay out of trouble.
I think
That's
we're
what
on
I
the
have to do.
I think that's the same bus, Brittany. I think we're on the same bus because I'm always
Right?
in trouble.
Stay out of trouble and enjoy the business. I love doing these podcasts. I just started doing a true crime podcast. I'm a
Oh,
co-host of that I just started last week. So that's been fun. But my
love that.
true love is wrestling. So
Yes. So, last time we spoke, you were gonna talk more about with working around Sherry Martel. What was that like? The work around Sherry.
she was really cool. Um, I want to say the first word that comes to mind is humble, because to me, she was great for the business, a big name, a great worker, very helpful to the younger girls, great to work with. And I don't think she realized what a big star she was. So humble, humble is what
Oh
she
wow,
was. Yeah.
wow.
A lot of
So
people aren't.
did you travel a lot with her when you were on the road?
No, no. We didn't work for the same promotions very much at all.
Mm. That, that sort of stinks because people like Sherry, they never get she never really got the credit that she deserved
I
within the
agree.
business. She may have gotten the Hall of Fame, but people like you that talk about her still, and she's not with us. Sadly, she's not with us anymore to be able to hear this awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So when you go to these wrestling shows now, Brittany, have you ever had any of the younger wrestlers come up to you and ask you advice and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, all the time. Especially back when I was promoting years ago. I had younger girls always, come up to talk to me. They wanted to work for me. How's this gimmick? How's this gear? It's really sweet because when I started, there wasn't a whole lot of women in my area, and there really wasn't anyone to ask or help you with that stuff. Um, so it's really cool when people do that, I think. And there's no girl that I know that's in this business that wouldn't help another girl. Speaking for myself and pretty much every girl that I know that I'm friends with in the business, we just want everybody to succeed and keep on going and love it like we did and continue to do it and don't get hurt.
Mm. So, Brittany, when you were on the road traveling, now, I guess now and back in the day, well, actually, but mostly back in the day. We'll focus on back in the day. When you were traveling back in the day, do you have any crazy stories from the road and stuff like that?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I was working for WCW, um, we were in, I believe, Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. And I don't know if you remember Jean Kirkland, Black Venus. She was very intimidating looking,
Mm.
very well built, very muscular. But she was scared to death of crickets.
Oh, jeez.
And her and I shared a locker room, and there were, I think, 5 other girls that shared another locker room. Um, and when we got there, our locker room was filled with crickets.
Oh my
And
god, that's like a whole. Oh
that is the
geez.
same show that when we went out to do some interviews and we came back, we found Lex Luger taking our door off. Um, yeah, because he wanted to leave his door open and change so we could close our door so we could see him. Yeah, class act.
Wow. That's
Lots of stories. Lots of stories.
we have time, Brittany. Keep going. Keep telling them fun stories.
Well, I mean, that was just like to me, like people's egos is what gets me. And I really never had, that issue with any girl that I worked with. And I worked with I mean, Judy Martin, Leilani Kai, all of them. Nobody had an attitude. And like these ladies were number one. They were on TV every week. And, nobody had an attitude. But boy, did those guys have attitudes. Unbelievable, the big heads they had.
That's like that's almost sad, like that the guys had to have the biggest egos, and it's like, and the ladies you're with, they're just happy to be there and happy to be on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just they're just yeah.
And happy to help. I mean, I remember when I went to LPWA in Vegas in 1990. I mean, there were girls there that were like top name girls and they're just willing to help everybody, and everybody was great to work with, no attitudes, no big heads, everybody was humble, everybody was nice, helpful, kind, and that's what I like to hear. And I hate to hear anything other than that. Luckily, I didn't experience that because I don't think that would have been good. And I probably wouldn't have stayed for 28 years like I did. But, once it becomes not fun, people quit. So if
Mhm.
people are going to make locker rooms not fun, who's going to keep coming back?
No one.
Yeah, not
Like
me.
it is, it's so sad because like I live in Pennsylvania and I go to a promotion. Shout out to Paul Bow and PPW. Like their wrestlers are so sweet. They're like you go to those shows. Like I've been to 3 shows of theirs in Slatington, PA. And I go in and it's like a half like consignment shop. The other half's like a food court, and the wrestlers are sitting there eating lunch or just sitting there chatting at the table, talking shop. And I walk in and they're like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Panther," and I'm 40. And half these wrestlers are like in their 20s, and they like all gentlemen, and I'm just like, God damn it, I feel like the old man, the old man in the sea coming in, but I don't come in with a regular suit jacket or like a t-shirt. I'm wearing a nice shirt, like a black shiny t-shirt with my big blue jacket, and looking at like I belong backstage. I look like Mean Gene Okerlund, like with the bald head. I look like Mean Gene. Like,
They make you feel old. How do you
yeah,
think you made me feel when you said I wrestled back when your grandfather did?
yeah, I know. Sorry, Brittany.
Now tell me, what year did your grandfather wrestle?
He wrestled from 1955 to 1965.
Okay. So I didn't start wrestling until 1985.
Oh, wow. You wrestled before you then? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Because I know,
I
because
gotta take that back.
I take it back, Brittany. I take it back. But I love having you
I-
on because you're awesome and you're part of my Ringside crew, like the dudes at Ringside Hall of Fame. Because as I say this, because I've had like tons of awesome female wrestlers from all the way over to from France to England to Scotland and all over the country in America, but it all comes back to you, Brittany, because if it wasn't for you, a lot of these little girls would have never heard about wrestling because of their moms and their dads watching you in the 80s throwing down with Martel and all the girls you just said throwing down in WCW and the watching the stuff at the indie shows because these little girls would never grow up to become indie wrestlers, and we would never have female wrestling in the indies. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah, every generation before us paved the way for us, so we all just give back. And just like the girls on TV today, they're paving the way too for the next generation.
Mm.
And
Do
most of
you
them are
watch a
doing it
lot of
really,
this stuff?
really well.
Sorry,
No,
Brittany.
I only watch AEW.
Okay, okay. Who if you can if AEW called you if Tony Khan called you tomorrow and asked you to be a manager for either a tag team or a singles wrestler, who would you want to manage and why?
Mm. So I will be honest and tell you that I think there are some great workers there, some really good workers there. I'm a little surprised at a couple of them that they're pushing a lot because I'm seeing a lot of mistakes in the ring, and they're pushing these people, and I'm really surprised because it's way too soon for them to be on TV, and I think that's a big mistake. But I think all in all, the person, gear, gimmick, and work that is the best girl there right now, I think, is Dr. Britt Baker.
Oh my god, she's amazing. Like
Yes.
the way she talks, the way she looks into the camera, her
Yep.
outfits, the
Yep.
fans know when to chant the deed, like do that whole thing she does. Like,
Yep.
and she has the gloves on to do her finishing move. Like it's like, and it's not a gimmick; it's real life. She's a
Right.
dentist.
Right.
It's like
So
crazy.
that would be who I would say. Yes.
I
Because I
guess you have to
just
buy a lab coat, like a giant lab
yeah.
coat.
Right, a white lab coat, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just think she does a lot, and I think, I know some people that know her and work with her, and she's a great person from what I understand. I don't have any first-hand experience, but I do have secondhand experience. So, she is supposedly great with the fans also, and, I think that's what makes a difference. You know, she's the whole package as far as I'm concerned.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's so cool that like you're still watching wrestling now. Most people I know that are former wrestlers that I've had on, they don't really watch it. They're like not in tuned with what's going on now. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's good, but like I like that wrestlers like you that they're all these younger wrestlers that you're still able to like give them advice and tell them don't do that, do that,
Yeah.
wear this, don't wear that, you know. And still going to
Well,
the shows, like what is it like to sit at a table and have like a little girl come up to you and look at your 8x10s and go, wow, you were a wrestler back in you were a wrestler.
well, I don't do any conventions or anything like that. So, I
Oh,
mean, the last time there were 8x10s on a table, I was still wrestling. I just quit 11 years ago. And I was still wrestling at the time. People were still buying my 8x10s and getting them autographed. And it was very cool to have, like young girls come up and even, young little boys that wanted to be wrestlers too. It was like, wow, you're a girl and you're a wrestler, and their parents were like smiling and everything. It's really cute. Some of them are really cute, but I was a heel, so I didn't I always stayed in character, so I just signed my autograph and off you go.
you're like get out of here, little brat.
Right.
So like I know you say you don't really do the conventions, but like if a indie promotion called you out to do like a table for like a show, would you like do it? Or like did you like you're like, I don't really do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Mm, I get it. So um if any of my fans would like to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
Well, I am very active on Facebook. So I am the real Brittany Brown on Facebook. And I am on the old Twitter, which is now X. I can be found there too. But I don't really go on there very much. But Facebook, I'm active daily with.
Yeah,
So,
Facebook. I had Twitter up for a while because I also do a podcast with a female a friend of mine that's wrestling. Actually, She is a commentator at the promotion I just said, PPW,
Oh, cool.
and yeah, PPW and Slatington. I'll name drop you. Maybe they'll call you to be a manager. You never know. You may get a call from Paul Bow to come out and manage or come out and talk to the wrestlers, because there's a lot of nice like indie wrestlers that work there, like a lot of younger promote workers, and if you go there, you may be able to meet me in person, Brittany, because as I said before, I would love to meet you because because
Oh.
in person I'm short, so I'll be like, "Hi, I'm oh crap."
Well,
um,
that happens a lot to me because as you know, I'm not short.
I'm tall. I'm a bean. I'm a bean. I'm like 5'1". It's like, "Hi, I'm Joe." Damn. It was nice to meet you. I just don't step on me, please. I need this. I need this coat. So in closing, Brittany, if there was any young male or female that wanted to get into the business and they really, really wanted to do it and they didn't know what to do, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would tell them to be really, really careful and do their research on there's so many schools. And what gets me about a wrestling school is if you never made it, how can you open a wrestling school and charge people money to give your knowledge to them if you never were able to use it? I mean, I see that a lot. So I say you have to go to somebody that made it, that knows, obviously the most important thing, the training, but gear, gimmicks, interviews, everybody's got to put in the work, but you have to be trained by somebody that knows what they're doing. And there's just too many schools out there from people that, John Smith on the corner of A and B Street, and he's charging everybody $1,500. Who is he? Where did he wrestle? And I just hear that a lot, and that bothers me when people just try to get people's money, and they don't train them, and especially safety is the biggest issue. I mean, you are going to end up getting hurt if you're not trained by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
you
you're right,
know
Brittany. Yeah, that's that's you're totally right, because nowadays people open schools and not take that like that 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 thought in their brain, that little chickpea between their eyeballs in their skull. If I open this school, what if this kid that's coming in that's 18 years old that doesn't really know much, I tell him to hip toss some person. What if they break their shoulder? What if that
exactly.
person hurts themselves?
Exactly. I mean, you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your opponent. You have to be trained by a reputable person. So that is the biggest piece of advice that I would give anybody that's looking to get in the business, male or female.
Well, I want to thank you again, Brittany. So well, before we go, everybody that's been on the podcast this November has said this to me. So before we go, I want to ask you, what are you thankful for wrestling?
What am I thankful for wrestling? Ugh. Well, I will say that I am very, very thankful to see main event women's matches. I am very, very thankful because there's so many of us that wrestled for so many years that never saw that. And to finally see it happen is absolutely awesome. Awesome, awesome. That's the thing I'm the most thankful for. And I can tell you, I'm not real thankful for how my joints and my knees and my hips feel. So I can also tell you what I'm not thankful for wrestling.
Ugh. See, that's the tough part when you're a wrestler. Like, you think you're gonna go and be like, "Oh, I'll just do this and I'll just go home and ice my knees or my hips," and then years later, you're like, "What the hell was I thinking?" Like, yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I want
And
to
it's
thank you
funny,
so much.
everybody that I talk to, male or female, email, because we get together every 3 months or so, a bunch of us from Kowalski's, and have luncheons, and we have an annual reunion, and all of us are, within 5, 10, 15 years of each other. And every one of us was like, oh, we were fine as long as we were wrestling. Once we quit wrestling, oh my God, I got a pain here and I need a shot there. And I have to go to the chiropractor. And oh, it's just, but I if I had to do it again, I certainly would. It was a blast. It's awesome. And I just want to see the girls keep moving forward and not get hurt.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much, Brittany, for coming back on the podcast. And thank you so much for telling your awesome stories. And once again, happy late Thanksgiving. I hope you have the rest of the year. I hope it goes so awesome for you, Brittany. It's like I just I'm so happy to have you back on. It really means a lot to me because
Well,
you're
thank
important
you.
to
And
wrestling.
same to you.
Yes, this new trip for me, this new journey is something else. It's still the dudes. It's still this. It's still fighting on. You know what I mean?
There you
It's something.
go.
It's something that my grandfather would have been so proud that I'm representing his name in this generation of wrestling.
Absolutely.
And I never set foot in the ring. And you never know if I get the right training, I'll be able to jump in the ring, do something, manage, like help in some sort. But I want to. It's kind of hard. But I'm Joe Panther the third,
I am Brittany Brown.
and we will catch you in the next one. Have a good day, everybody.